What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I put together another very special build for y'all, in which I'm calling the two-way interior dominator. Now this one, it's going to be coming out to a two-way interior score, but out of all NBA players, this one's going to be reminding me of legend Ben Wallace. Now with this one today, for the build, we'll get a 99 plus when it comes towards our driving dunk, standing dunk, pass accuracy, perimeter defense, steal, block, stamina, and both our offensive with defensive rebound. On top of that, we'll also be able to unlock the elite contact dunks as well as big man contact dunks. With this build, we'll also get a total of 45 badges. And this build is a very high profile defensive player. Huge upside on the offensive end, especially for the finishing. And this is really one of the best catfish, slasher, and lockdown builds to make this year on next gen. Now, in my opinion, this is all around one of the best lockdown and big men to use for any team, because you can take this build into any game mode and definitely find success with. So before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So let's go ahead and get started by first putting this build under the center position. Getting into the height, I decided 6'8" is going to be best, with the weight being brought to 233. As for that wingspan, let's go ahead and max this out for defensive purposes all the way to 7'6". Now from here, we're all going to be set to move forward, and you definitely want to be sure that you follow along with each and every single step of the way. So the first area that I do want to go after is going to be our physicals. Go ahead and put that speed all the way up to an 80. Getting into the acceleration, I'm going to go with a 71. Moving into the strength, I like this best at a 90. And then as for that vertical, I decided to put this to an 80. Now as for the stamina, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 98. And this is what we're going to be looking like moving forward with today's build. Now remember, if you do your Gatorade facility workouts, we'll get a +4 put towards our physicals. We'll have an 84 speed, 75 acceleration, 94 strength, 84 vertical with a 99 plus stamina. Now this is really going to set the rest of the build up perfectly, and the first area that I do want to get into is going to be the finishing. Let's go ahead and put that close shot all the way up to a 57. Getting into the driving layup, I'm going to go with a 76. As for when it comes to the driving dunk, I'm going to put this to a 93. And then for that standing dunk, I decided to put this to a 92. Now as for when it comes to the post control, leave this at a 30. And this is what we're going to be looking like for today's build. Very special when it comes to the finishing side. My favorite thing about it is definitely got to be that we will be able to unlock contact dunks. Let's go ahead and move into the playmaking. So as for that pass accuracy, this is the main attribute that I did want to focus on. I'm going to go with an 86 right here, 51 ball handle with a 30 speed with ball. Now from here, if you want to make any type of changes or adjustments, you can do so, but I promise you, with the way that I did create today's build, very categorized and specific when it comes to each attribute, especially for unlocking animations and badges. So getting into the defensive end, let's go ahead and move this interior up to a 74. As for that perimeter, I'm going to go with an 88. And then moving into that steal, let's put this to an 89. Now as for the block, I'm going to go with an 87. And then for the rest of the rebounding, go with an 84 when it comes to the offensive. And then as for the defensive, put this all the way up to a 93. Now this is what we're going to be looking like for the defensive end on today's build. All around, I think it's a huge threat. You can guard any position 1 through the 5, including big men that are maxed out when it comes to their height with this 74 interior defense. Now the remaining attributes will be left over for the free throw. So let's go ahead and put this all the way up to a 65. And this is what we're going to be looking like moving forward with today's build. So let's go ahead and start with the badges. The ones that catch my eye are going to be Bronze Fearless Finisher. You also get Gold Fast Twitch, Pro Touch, Giant Slayer, and Whistle on Silver. As for the Driving Layup, other badges I'm happy about, Slithery, Silver Acrobat. I think Bunny on Hall of Fame will make a huge difference. Then we get Pro Touch, Scooper, Float Game, Giant Slayer, Spin Cycle, and Two Step. As for the Driving Dunk, this gets even better. We get Gold Posterizer, Precision Dunker, then you get a few extra Hall of Fame badges to pair that up with. And then for the actual Standing Dunk, the main two badges that I'm looking at are going to be Gold Fast Twitch and Rise Up. Overall, I think this is really one of the best post-score builds that you can make, considering if you are a drop stepper, this is going to be the perfect build for you. Now, as for the shooting, I wanted to be sure to at least get a 65 free throw, because when I activate a takeover and buy boost, this is going to be in the 70s, which I think is going to be perfect for any 5s or rec game modes. As for the playmaking, we get a lot of special badges that are needed. We get Gold Break Starter, Dimer, Needle Threader, Relay Passer, Touch Passer, Post Playmaker, and Gold Special Delivery. Now, if you wanted to, you can go with a lower ball handle, but I highly recommend keeping this above a 50. That way you're still able to move around the floor, just from what you saw in the clips. Now, to wrap up the defensive end, this is absolutely, without a question, the most important part of today's build and the strongest. So I'm happy with Silver Anchor. You also get Workhorse on Gold, Bronze Post Lockdown. Then for our perimeter, I like Silver Clamps and Ankle Braces. You also get Pick Dodger, Bronze Fast Feet, Gold Challenger, 94 feet Workhorse with Off-Ball Pass. As for that Steel, Silver Glove and Right Stick Ripper are going to make a huge impact. Then we get Gold Interceptor. Now with this build, you can pretty much be a 6'8" free safety out in the field, snagging everything. Then for the block, we also get Gold Chase Down Artist, Anchor again with Gold Pogo Stick. Now for the rebounding, I like Hall of Fame Box Out Beast, Gold Chase Down Artist, Gold Rebound Chaser, Pogo Stick, Post Playmaker. Pretty much the same when it comes to the defensive end, but remember, once you activate your takeover, buy your own boost, wear gear that give you an additional boost, and play well throughout each game. That's at least a plus 10 to 15 depending on how you create and make this build. But I really want to know your thoughts and opinions. Is there anything that you would possibly do to change or make this build even better? Overall, I truly do think that this is one of the best centers to make. Now from here, let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made the build correctly. Now we should be able to get these 3 different comparisons, and as y'all can see, we have created the first two-way interior dominator, coming out to a two-way interior scorer in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now once you add up everything of what I previously did mention, you'll see we have a lot of potential to look forward to when it comes to today's build. Now I want to say thank you for those of y'all who made it to the very end. More so than anything, thank God for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from. And I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.